Hi there, Pisces. It's me, Crystal B, and welcome to your spiritual upgrade. Okay, so pretty much a lot has been going on, Pisces. So it's always important, it's always good to get yourself into alignment. And I have a tarot spread called the Energetic Chakra Spread. This spread should be done as a meditation and visualization along with a card reading. Shuffle and place 7 cards before you face down. Proceed to interpret each card. As you turn each card, imagine that chakra opening and spinning in your body while simultaneously focusing on the card's message. And up first, we have the root base of spine, and this is your security, okay, Pisces? And first, before I draw a tarot card, I'm going to read you this oracle card, and it is the number 1, and it is karma. And there's an image of a key and white roses. Isn't this beautiful? I love this. And it says here, Camilla. Okay, so I think this is supposed to be the Camilla white rose. Let me see here. White rose. Let's see, is there? Okay, here we go. Spiritual meaning of the white rose Camilla. The white rose Camilla combines the deep symbolism of both the white rose and white camellia, creating a powerful image of purity, devotion, and spiritual grace. White rose symbolism. In Christian tradition, the white rose represents purity, virginity, and divine love, often linked to the Virgin Mary. It symbolizes the unfolding of God's mysteries and spiritual growth. Much like a bud opening to reveal its full beauty, in the Bible, roses, including white, are used metaphorically to convey love, beauty, and purity of faith. The white rose also appears in religious art and literature, where its fragrance and incense represents lasting love, I think is that's where I was reading. Okay. Its ability to bloom in late winter and also make it a symbol for inner strength, quiet courage, and spiritual perseverance. When paired, the white rose camellia, I think that's how you say it, camellia, can can be interpreted as purity of spirit and devotion to the divine, blending the white rose's sacred purity with the camellia's enduring love. I say camellia, camellia, camilla, camilla. There we go. Okay. So this is really like a call to inner strength and resilience. The Camilla's ability to bloom in adversity mirrors the rose's enduring beauty and faith. Okay, so Pisces, you really unlocked something here, because I feel like you have done so much spiritual growth and spiritual work on yourself that you've come into alignment now with your higher self. And I feel like that place that you're at now, Pisces, is like the universe's way of saying, like, you have done so much, like now is like your turn to receive like positive karma, good luck, prosperity. You've unlocked something really beautiful here. You are the key to your own life as well. Like, you hold the key to your own truth, to your own answers. And it's so beautiful. And now I'm going to draw a tarot card for you. I'm only using Major Arcana because a friend of mine recommended this book to me. And the book is Meditations on the Tarot. Okay. And it's all about like the study and research of just the major arcana from like religious perspectives, spiritual perspectives, and philosophical perspectives. And yeah, I thought it would be interesting to read some read some information from the Pisces. Okay, So let's get into your spine here. Okay. Wow, interesting. Yeah, so we have here the High Priestess. Okay. So let's take a look here at this High Priestess card. Wisdom has built her house. She has set up her 7 pillars. The High Priestess. Dear unknown friend, as set forth in the preceding letter, the magician is the acronym can't talk. Okay. Of intellectual geniality and cordiality. The arcanum of true spontaneity, concentration without effort, and the perception of correspondences in accordance with the law of analogy are the principal implications of this arcanum. Of spiritual I can't say this word. Okay. Functuity. It is the arcanum of the pure act of intelligence, but the pure act is like fire or wind. It appears and disappears, and when exhausted, it gives way to another act. The wind blows where it wills, and your heart the sound of it, but you do not know whence it comes or whither it goes. So it is with everyone who is born of the Spirit. The pure act in itself cannot be grasped. It is only its reflection which renders it perceptuable, comparable, and understandable. Or in other words, it is by virtue of the reflection that we become conscious of it. The reflection of the pure act produces an inner representation which becomes retained by the memory. Memory becomes the source of communication by means of the spoken word, and the communicated word becomes fixed by means of writing, by producing the book. So the second arcanum, the High Priestess, is that of the reflection of the pure act of the first arcanum up to the point where it becomes book. It shows us how fire and wind become science and book, or in other words, how wisdom builds her house. As we have pointed out, one becomes conscious of the pure act of intelligence only by means of its reflection. We require an inner mirror in order to be conscious of the pure act, or to know whence it comes or whither it goes. The breath of the spirit, or the pure act of intelligence, is certainly an event, but it does not suffice itself alone for us to become conscious of it. Conscientious consciousness. This is the result of 2 principles, the active activating principle and the passive reflecting principle. In order to know from where the breath of the spirit comes and where it goes, water is required to reflect it. This is why the conversation of the Master with Nicodemus, to which we have referred, enunciates the absolute condition for the conscious experience of the divine spirit, or the kingdom of God. Truly, truly, I say to you, unless one is born of water and the spirit, he cannot enter the kingdom of God. Truly, truly, the Master refers here twice to truth. In this magical formula of the reality of consciousness. By these words, he states that full consciousness of truth is a result of in-breathed truth and a reflected truth, reintegrated consciousness, which is the kingdom of God. Presupposes 2 renovations of a significance comparable to birth in the 2 constituent elements of consciousness, active spirit and reflecting water. Spirit must become divine, breath in place of arbitrary personal activity, and water must become a perfect mirror of the divine breath instead of being agitated by disturbances of the imagination, passions, and personal desires. Reintegrated consciousness must be born of water and spirit. After water has once become virginal and spirit has once again become divine breath of the Holy Spirit, reintegrated consciousness therefore becomes born within the human soul in a way analogous to the birth of or historical incarnation of the Word. Et incarnatus est de Spiritu Sancto ex Maria Virgin. By the power of the Holy Spirit, the Word becomes incarnate from the Virgin Mary. When the mirror is there, the mirror image is produced. But when it is not there, or it is not in the right state, the object of which the image would have been is all the same, actually there, in the same way as regards the soul. When the when the kind of thing in us which mirrors images of thought and intellect is undisturbed, we see them and know them in a way parallel to sense perception, along with the prior knowledge that is the intellect and thought that are active. But when this is broken because the harmony of the body is upset, thought and intellect operate without an image, and then intellectual activity takes place without a mind picture. Yeah, okay. So there's like I feel like you're building yourself a house here, Pisces, metaphorically, like you're building your spiritual temple of like security, okay, with your spine here. This is the root of it all, okay? This is the start of it all. This is the place where you only share like your real true self. Okay, we all, I'm not saying like you're fake, Pisces. I'm just saying like we all have to like, you know, have these I mean, I think like the perfect example would be like Spider-Man, right? Like Peter Parker, right? Or I just was watching Spider-Man Spider-Verse with the character Miles. So, you know, we all are like, you know, we go to school or we go to work, right? Or, you know, we have these everyday responsibilities that we have to take care of. At the, you know, there's another side to it, right? Where you like put on the mask and you like, you know, you're your true self, right? So I feel like Pisces, you've unlocked something really important here, and it's like you want to be seen for like who you really are, and I feel like you're only going to be reflecting who you really are, and the people who know the real you, like that's like what you've unlocked here is like you've unlocked your truth, you've unlocked who you really are. And you know, like Spider-Man has his crew team of other Spider-Man and Spider-Woman. So you know, that's kind of like where you're at now, like you found your place, I feel like, in the world. I feel like you're building on that, okay. So it's very sacred to you, it's really important to you. um, so let's talk about sacral and your sexuality here, okay. Yeah, we're getting into like the deep stuff, okay, Pisces. Empress energy, okay, the archetype of the mother, okay. So let's take a look here at that. The Empress energy here. Yeah, I feel like a lot of there's like a you have a very like strong connection to like mother others or take care of others and nurture others. The Empress is the archetype of the mother. Your passion is the blueprint to your magic. A baby's cry echoes through the silent wood. This haunting sound tempts the shadow witch to peer around a mammoth tree and lock eyes with a reclining figure dressed in a red gown with a hand resting on her belly. The Empress expresses every creative urge bursting forth inside of you. The Empress guides you in creating and inventing your life. She is the expression of your talents. Her urge to expand and unfold is a primal as sex. This is why she is also the most sensual card of the deck. The Empress reflects activity and brilliance. She is pulsating, breathing world of energetic expansion and beatific connection. She is the pure creative expression of the ever-expanding universe in human form. The Empress contains the passion and energy to create and destroy life. She is the insanity driving an artist to the brink of madness. As the mother archetype, she bears the burden of societal fantasy, for mothers are expected to be all things to all creatures. Yeah. The Empress's pregnancy is metaphorical. It conveys birthing an idea, project, or person into the world. She rests upon a witch's hand, a tree trunk with finger branches. A witch's hand is a powerful gathering point of magic and energy. Hands are the creative portal of the body. fashioning all things from food to invention, love and gesture, contact and caress. Bats hang upside down as representation of dormant potential soon to awaken within you. The Empress's red dress aligns with menstruation, the membrane of life. She is a doorway, the threshold through which the birth waters of the High Priestess flow. The Empress takes the High Priestess's blueprint into the reality of the physical world. The Empress siphons the inner sanctum of the High Priestess out into the macroism of sensual formation. The sign of Venus is inside of the heart of love. She is sex appeal, ambition, and above all things, unbounded passion. The Empress appears in a reading to remind you of your powers of invention and imagination. Your passions and institutions are the clues to the unfolding mystery of you. The universe supports all creative action. Manifest your visions and make the world a more beautiful place while living the life of your dreams. Meaning, mother figure creation, artistic ability, soft, gentle, nurturing touch, reinvention and expression, confidence and the abundance of the soul, fertility and birth, sensorial pleasure and earthly delights, stepping in tune with seasonal change, displaying natural abundance in all things, the nurturing of self-expression and potential. The shadow side is destroying the hopes and dreams of another, unsupportive attitude, thoughtless words, jealousy over another's success, hating on others' good fortune because you do not believe in your own power, abusing motherly power. Yeah, so it's you. What you've done here is you have unlocked like the door to your entire like blueprint of who you are always been, like who you've always been on the inside. I also feel like you're only going to allow certain energy into your house, Pisces. Energy that sees the Empress, energy that knows and understands this part of you, both sides to you, right? Because this is like you internally, subconsciously. This is you consciously. Okay? So, and the Empress has to do everything, right? The Empress has to know how to cook. The Empress has to know how to clean. The Empress has to know how to take care of children. The Empress has to rule her kingdom with pride and strength. And if the Empress is not allowed to trust herself, or can't trust herself, you know, that's when things go sideways. Okay, Pisces? So, you know, this brings in your solar plexus. This brings in your power. We have the Chariot, willpower, determination. I'm also picking up on like a strong masculine like force of energy that's like positive, supportive, protective, like wants to like, you know, lead the way. Pisces like wants to take, because I feel like the Empress, like there needs to be a balance, right? It can't always be like working and 24/7. You have to be able to take a break sometimes. So the Chariot comes in to sort of like say, okay, well, hop on this chariot, let's go for a ride, you know, like let's, you know, take a break sometimes, right? And it's not always easy for the Empress to be able to express that or to be able to feel that, because she's has to always be on 24/7. She has to always be wearing that mask the High Priestess talks about. She talks about like you want to be seen in a certain way. However, you know, society and the world all right, Pisces. So yeah, your power, the Chariot. Okay, so let's take a look at that. The Chariot. Lucky number 7. Here we go. Okay, this is all about your willpower, determination, direction. Okay. The Chariot represents determination, willpower, and focused movement forward. It signifies control, victory, and overcoming challenges through self-discipline. It is through strength of will that you will accomplish your goals. Outside forces may pull you in different directions, but focus on the path ahead. Be clear about what you want and stay true to yourself. Take action to build a relationship that is right for you. Use your determination to drive your career. Steer clear of office politics or other distractions. Yeah. Okay. So, now is the time for that, Pisces. Now is the time for the Chariot energy. Okay. The Chariot is the archetype of the hero or the heroine. Spread your wings and take flight, Pisces. The shadow witch wakes from her lover's dream, her head groggy and her body heavy with sleep. A loud screech electrifies her. She looks up. A bald eagle is descending out of the sky, heading straight for her. This is the moment where you step behind the wheel and head toward your destination with perfect clarity to claim the prize and win your heart's desire. The eagle's precision and razor-sharp ability to succeed in conquest provide strength and assurance. The eagle teaches us to broaden our sense of self and expand the horizon of what is known. The terrain may be unfamiliar, but you can move freely without fearing the unknown. The shadow witch shapeshifts into the eagle and sets off into the sky. The entirety of the dark wood is spread out beneath her watchful eyes. Have you ever attempted to look at the world with eagle eyes? She peers past the horizon, examines all possibilities, and narrows in specifically on what she desires. The eagle's wings are extended and ready for action. The line between the chariot's mind and heart's desire is thin, razor sharp, and direct. It is the shortest line between 2 points. The lovers have experienced ecstasy and transcendence. Now it is time for you to move forward and claim your ultimate goal. Your goal is a person, place, thing, state of mind, or a manner of being. It will be yours. You are moving in alignment with the nature of your soul. You will reach your destination, ascend to new heights, success, drive, and attainment. Okay, Pisces, and then you have the image of the eagle here. All right. Now, there's a shadow side to this, the inability to sit still, distraction caused by confusion in the mind, scatterbrained and unfocused, allowing thoughts to disturb and distract you, a need for energetic balance and calmness. It's time to breathe and transform anxiety into useful, purposeful energy, obsessing over forward progress and achievement to prove your worth. Slow down. Okay, Pisces? And that's the thing here. Oh, look at this. You know what? I'm going to read you this extra oracle card because I feel like you need it. It's home. You are building this house. This is the key to this house. You are in perfect alignment. Okay? I feel like even when, I feel like you play with the word obsessed because I feel like it's almost like humorous to you because the karma that you've experienced in your life, you know what real true obsession looks like. You know what it does when it's manipulated into destroying instead of creating and building, which is what you do as the Empress. The High Priestess finds you your key, and the Empress builds. And together you work together in alignment. The Chariot comes in as like a reminder of like this strong force of energy that is inside of you, Pisces. That once you tap into, you become like one with this energy and you build masculine, divine feminine. I'm getting like yin and yang. So we have here linden tree, the linden tree. So let's see here what the linden tree is about. Linden tree. You might hear Stranger Things in the background playing because I love Stranger Things. And there was a time where I was there was so much time between the last like final season and the season before that, so it's like I rewatched everything because I was just like it was so hard to connect with the ending after like so many years had gone by, and then I was just like, I'm gonna just rewatch this whole thing because I'm such a huge fan, and it's like it was almost like painful that I couldn't like feel emotionally like connected to the ending. It's like bittersweet, Yeah. The linden tree symbolizes love, fidelity, community, healing, and inner peace. serving as a spiritual emblem of connection and enduring bonds, love, and fidelity. The linden tree is widely recognized as a symbol of love, tenderness, and loyalty. Its heart-shaped leaves and fragrant flowers represent the blossoming of affection and the nurturing power of love, encouraging constancy and faithfulness in relationships. In Greek mythology, it was sacred to Aphrodite, embodying romantic and divine love, while in European folklore, it signified strong bonds of friendship and fidelity, often believed to bless couples with long-lasting marriages when they sat beneath its canopy. Yeah, so it's like what's really going on here, though, like Pisces, is you are marrying yourself here. Like, you are mirroring yourself. Okay, this isn't like, I'm not talking about like literal marriage. I'm not talking about like that or anything. This is a spiritual like connection that you have within yourself to divine feminine, to divine masculine, to source, to spirit. Yeah, I don't know, some of you could be getting married, but really what this comes down to is like a spiritual breakthrough in your life. And you have to be like married to your own soul, to your own self first, before you can like really go into the whole like commitment and bond of what like a marriage is like as a piece of paper that says you're married to somebody. Like, I mean, that's business, okay, Pisces. This celebration and this like sacred union that you've now committed with yourself is far more like transcendent and far more relevant to what you're spiritually going through right now, because you're mirroring yourself, and that reflection is the universe has already given you the answers that you seek because they are within you. So yeah, I mean, take it as it resonates. You know, you have to be loyal to yourself, Pisces, and you have to learn to love and care and nurture yourself before you can just give that away to others and do for others. Because really, I think what's happening I feel like your power, you experienced like what it felt like to be powerless. I feel like you experienced what it felt like to be loyal to someone who wasn't loyal to you for a very long time. And now you're like, I'm choosing me again. Like, I'm putting myself at the forefront here. And I'm not looking at like, labels and, pieces of paper that say I'm like legally bound to someone or something. I'm looking now at what this represents on a soulful, spiritual level. It's not literal, it's metaphorical. Okay? So, yeah. This is what takes you to your like higher sense of consciousness and awareness. Heart is your empathy. The Hangman. I feel like he's like hanging upside down in your like house or something like like waiting for you inside. I don't know. I'm kidding. He's just chilling there. It's a vibe. Okay, so let's take a look here at the Hangman. Yeah, I feel like you have a lot of empathy for people who are tied to the material world, or like, tied to like looking at life from like a business perspective. That is so like not you, Pisces. I mean, there's a place and a time for business, but there's also how are you looking at things from a new perspective? Not taking everything so literal. Maybe there's like a secret code or a secret language that like only you know how to speak. Okay? Surrender, pause, new perspective. The hangman symbolizes surrender, patience, and new perspectives. It invites you to pause, release control, and see things differently. If a situation feels stuck on you or is forced, waiting period, the hangman tells you to surrender to the moment and look at things from a different perspective. The relationship may be at standstill, or you aren't finding the right person. Do not force things. Trust that things will change when the timing is right. A project may be taking longer than expected or on pause. Enjoy the break and focus your attention elsewhere. Yeah. 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 It's just like, I feel like you were very, like empty. I feel like you were very depleted. I feel like you had like so little energy when it came to like this like one dimensional life that wasn't serving you at all, Pisces, and it wasn't giving, and you weren't receiving anything. You were just like giving to the point where you literally had to like break free from that. You had to unlock something inside of you. You couldn't like take it anymore. I feel like you were trying so hard to make this like one dimensional reality work. And it's like, you're the high priestess. She is not a one dimensional being. She's got like an infinite amount of dimensions. It's crazy. No, it's all, but like, it's so much better for you. It's so much easier for you because karma is like, you lived in that one dimension and you did everything you were supposed to do in that dimension. And what were the results of that? Your power was stripped away from you. Your autonomy was stripped away from you. You had to always constantly be like on the job. You constantly always had to be like picture perfect. I'm getting. When really, in reality, you were like, this is what's inside of me. So why am I letting myself be restrained and held back? The hangman, he is not restrained. Okay? He likes to play, make believe or something. I don't know. Like, but it's like that masculine energy is real, like, it's feminine, masculine, it blends. Okay? It synthesizes. I don't even know what that word means. I don't know. What does synthesize mean? Okay. Like, I don't even know how to spell synthesize. Okay. So, synthesize. I feel like that's like the word of the day. Make something by synthesis, especially chemically. Combine a number of things into a coherent whole. Yes, Darwinian theory has been synthesized with modern genetics. Yeah, pupils should synthesize the data they have gathered. Okay, yeah. So it's like you had all of these like. I feel like we all have like these like chemicals in our body and our like genetic makeup, and I feel like you were like constantly like being like everything that was like making up your DNA was being like stripped away from you. Like you were dying every single day until the chariot and the hangman came into the picture and we're like, oh whoa, wait a second. Like we've got to like combine these and make something here. We gotta do something. Yeah, and I feel like because that energy knew that you were like dying inside. I don't know. I could be wrong, Pisces. So let's take a look at the next chakra here. Okay, and we have your speech and your throat. What do you want to speak? Temperance, balance, two chemical properties. Yin and yang, energy, temperance. Yeah, you want to talk about this balance. You want to talk about this like spiritual upgrade that you've had. you are trying to verbalize it into a way that makes sense, it doesn't need to make sense. It just is. Okay? You don't need, everyone who talks to you is not going to, or listens to you, right, is not going to always understand you. Okay? The people that care about you, the people that want to help you learn and grow, they are going to be the ones that listen. They are going to be the ones that hear you, and it's going to resonate with them. Okay? And I'm getting like sounds and vibrations. And yeah. So, whew, temperance. Okay, let's go. Number 14. What is it that you want to say here, Pisces? Also, I watched this. I'm on Instagram, by the way, Priscilla V Tarot. You can find me on Instagram. And I watched this meme the other day, and I didn't know if I should like share it or not because I felt like it was like just kind of weird. I don't know, but I'm thinking about it now, and it was basically like all these like colonial it was like an animation cartoon, and it was all these colonial like white guys that were like really like elderly, and this is kind of it's kind of funny. It's comedy, so it's a little offensive, but it's also really funny. And there was this tiny little like bluish green like creature, and that looked like a little orb, like a little like element or something. And he's like, "This is what it feels like when you're like trying to socialize with people." That was the caption, and the little orb was like talking, and it was like making sounds. It wasn't actually saying words; they were just sounds. And the caption was, "This is what happens when I try to socialize. Like, that's why I don't try to socialize." And it was really funny. And I feel like you feel like that sometimes, Pisces, you know? Like, you feel like you don't make sense. But that's okay. Because I think at the end of the day, Pisces, the people who, like, understand your language are going to be the people that show up for you and that want to be around you. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And you don't have to feel pressured to socialize with everybody and everything, because really the people that you do choose to be around, like, that's when the magic happens. That's when you feel loved. That's when you feel like just the best. And it's very rare, but it's like quality. I'm getting like quality over quantity. So yeah. 14. Let's see. Going off topic here. Okay. I feel like nothing I said made any sense. Well, whatever. Okay. Temperance is the archetype of complexity, Pisces. Transcend duality to embrace entirety. The shadow which leaves death behind while understanding all her lessons. She moves out to great plain and walks toward an endless horizon for what feels like hours. Her animal companions are true and stay by her side. Her throat becomes dry, and she stops at a glistening pool to take a drink with her hands. A dark angel with a horned headdress rises from the depths of the water, connecting to emotions, the subconscious and internal flow. The liquid she fuses is the integration of life energy. She dispels mastery as she hones her skills. You become the expert. This is the beginning of maturation. The Gothic tower stands in the distance as a hint of the ultimate attainment that is to come. The tower is the highest physical point which can reach without leaving the ground. Once the lesson of death is understood, accepted, and ingested, the spirit can engage temperance. You are now able to combine the oppositional ideas of life and death in a new form. A new path appears. Options become available. The center and focal point of temperance is the liquid she fuses. It is the card of balance and complexity, but also the magic we make when we focus on what's in front of us. We stand inside shifting polarities. Temperance is how we greet the changing dichotomy of life. Balance within duality, leading to complex thought and action. The honing of skills, energetic mastery, going with the flow, unique and successful combinations, excellent management skills, put to the test with good results. Originality, the unique expression of personal talent. shadow artist, blocking yourself off from the natural ebb and flow of the universe, creative confusion, great talent going unused. And see, that's the thing is like, Pisces, for so long, you were living in a shadow world. You were living in a world where, like, you constantly were being blocked creatively from your process, blocked from the energetic mastery that was, like, waiting to be unlocked inside of you. And then over time, you started to, like, piece this together little by little until it was absolute truth. And once you had all the, like, your evidence, once you had all the pieces to the puzzle, or the, you know, that you realized you were looking at a picture of you living in a shadow world all the time. And we cannot live in the shadows. We have to live in the conscious world, in the waking world. We can explore the subconscious. We can even tap into the unconscious. And I feel like this key unlocked that. Because you were in the shadow for so long, you finally found a key. And that key unlocked everything. And you walked through that door and you were allowed to separate yourself from just existing only in the shadows. Okay? And the shadow world is meant to be explored. It's meant to learn and navigate. It's not meant for us to exist. Because if we only exist in the shadows, you're not going to be right in the head. Like, it's fun to play in the shadows. It's fun to walk in the shadows. It's meant to be a like, think of it as like a tunnel. And you can go through the tunnel, learn all you need to learn. We're all going to experience it. We all have to do it. But on the other side, there needs to be light. There needs to be strength. There needs to be courage. There needs to be loyalty. If you're stuck in that tunnel and you can't see a way out, you don't want a way out, you don't want to unlock that door, however you take the metaphor. I mean, whatever metaphor you want, let it resonate. But I always sense the way out is through the tunnel, through the darkness. That's where your power is, on the other side. Okay? So, and it's beautiful there. It's wonderful. Actually, there's like, I think of it as, because I do a lot of dream work. So the best dream image I can give you is, think of yourself as like a little girl, right? Or I don't know if you're a girl or a boy. I don't know. But you're a child, okay? There you go. You're a child, and you're innocent, you're naive, you don't know how the world works, you don't know how everything operates. I mean, how could you? You're a child. There's a dark tunnel, and it's scary, and you're afraid. But you walk through it anyway. And on the other side, the best image I can give you from my own experience in the studying dreams is, there's a lion, okay? And it's a male lion, okay, at least in my experience. And there's light all around it. And think of Narnia. If you've ever watched Narnia, like that lion Aslan, that's the perfect example. And you walk through, and the lion, he's waiting for you. And you're not scared of him. You're scared of the tunnel, but you're not scared of him. And then you get to the lion and you greet him, and there's vast green valleys and light everywhere. It's a beautiful sunny day, and you're just like walking and talking with him, and he shares with you like all the secrets to the universe. And the biggest secret of all, Pisces, is that you have the strength to change your life, even in the shadows. So that brings me to third eye, your intuition. We have justice. You deserve justice in your life, Pisces. The scales have been balanced in your favor, and they will continue to do so, because you deserve good karma. You deserve justice, Pisces. Okay? So let's look at this. Number 11, justice. And see. Justice is the archetype of the law. What you do to others, you do to yourself. The shadow witch set the wheel of fortune spinning and now moves through the wood with crystal clear intention. The hermit has explained karma to the witch. The hermit revealed that karma is infused of magic of responsibility, that which keeps universal order. What we put out into the world is what comes back to us. This is how each of us determines our fate and sets the course for our destiny. The shadow witch was told to find justice, and she recognized the scales of balance. Justice traditionally reflects the glue of law and order with social, moral, ethical, and safety codes. Justice takes on a deeper meaning inside the dark wood. It is the moment of personal truth. The work and effort you put into a project or situation is what is returned to you. Justice allows no shortcut, lies, or deceptions. She holds the sword of truth. It will set the heart of the matter and the tenor of all souls. Two kneeling maidens are blindfolded. They can remove their blindfolds once they claim their role and responsibility for the actions, thoughts, and choices bringing them to justice's feet. Those who integrate justice's lessons will act with integrity and become free. We show up for ourselves, our desires, and for other people. The universe responds by greeting us with new possibilities and hidden delights. Work and effort, karma, the witch's rule of 3. The energy you put out returns to you 3 times over. Taking responsibility, doing the right thing, even if it is tough. Scary choices, showing up when you would rather avoid a situation. Doing right by yourself, facing the truth, owning up. You've done all of this, Pisces. All of this you have done. Yeah, so I mean, you're in alignment. That's all I can say. That's all I can say, Pisces. You're in alignment. Okay? So, let's see what the highest self here, your crown chakra. We have the Emperor. Okay? So, let's see here. Emperor energy. The Emperor is the archetype of the father. Define the boundaries of your life to create a kingdom, to create your house. Okay? The shadow witch moves through a rocky, craggy landscape as vegetation becomes scarce and the air grows humid. She hears the crackling of a bonfire. She stops to catch her breath. While the eerie feeling of being watched creeps across her skin like a spider, she looks up to discover a pair of glowing eyes peering down. The Emperor is the male consort and the partner of the Empress. He is the energy of boundaries and restrictions. He takes the expansiveness of the Empress and gives her shape and form. He is the builder and the protector. The Emperor is numbered 4 and reflects ultimate stability. The Emperor and the Empress court and dance with each other but never consummate their attraction. Their mutual flirtation is what gives shape to the form of the world. This is where habits are formed, order is created, and results are seen. He is the underlining structure of the tarot deck, as solid as the foundations of a house, with a sheer force of will that cannot be broken. He is you on top of your game, laying down the law and showing up and getting things done. The ram is a symbol of Aries and the embodiment of strength, initiative, determination, rules, and order. This is the card of power. The cliff reflects his boundaries. He would destroy them at a moment's notice when they no longer serve his purpose. The symbol of the Egyptian ankh is carved into the cliff beneath him, suggesting everlasting life. His compact muscular body denotes strength. His horns are used to batter through opposable forces. Father figure, habits and strategies, creating success and results, authority and domination, defense and protection, established rules, asserting boundaries when needed, and moving them when necessity calls. For it, self-possession and above all things, self-control. Yeah. So, you're in alignment, Pisces. Okay, you are. And I think you've done so much already spiritually. I think you have really mastered your ability, Pisces, to understand yourself at a much, much deeper level because you allowed yourself to walk through that tunnel, to explore the shadow world, to really fully understand what it feels like to just like exist there and how it can be so destructive and so just unhealthy. Okay, I know that doesn't even begin to, those words don't even begin to describe what it feels like to like live in the shadows for so long. But the good thing here, Pisces, here is that you don't live there and you don't exist there. You know how to travel there, you know how to work there, you do the shadow work, you know the abilities, and you have the foresight to see what it takes to survive there. The thing is like you don't want to be in survival mode your entire life, Pisces. And at some point, which I already feel like you've already done this, but in case you're not quite there yet, I feel like at some point, Pisces, you will see that everything you did was for a reason, and that reason was so that you could find yourself again. And that you can be in alignment with your true, authentic self, and you can reflect that instead of constantly hiding who you are. So, yeah, Pisces. So, you hold the answers to everything you seek, everything you desire, everything you want, everything you need. So, just keep building that house, keep um, unlocking unlocking that door to your truer highest self, and um, that's the alignment. That's where alignment comes in. All right. I hope that made sense, Pisces. Love and light always. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, beautiful souls.